Now it's time for the Midwest Great Plains Top Cut. The Wichita State Shockers, we saw them on broadcast last week. It was an unfortunate matchup that, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago at this point. I think it was. Yeah, I wasn't here last week. But regardless, we saw them on stream. They played the best team within the CCL, or at least that's what's ranked by the committee, and the reigning champions, Oklahoma Christian. That is how they fell to 6-1. On the opposite side, we have the ICC Pirates, who are at 7-0. Both these teams atop the Midwest Great Plains, and technically right now, the Pirates have that spot locked up for themselves, but there is another team, of course, Oklahoma Christian, who are within that same breadth of conversation. So this is a matchup realistically playing for second place here tonight. Who will come out on top? That's the real question. My name is Corin. With me is Verdict once again. Appreciate you for joining us on this beautiful Monday night here as we continue into now what is the top and bottom cut restructure of the CCL season as we push towards the conference championships and the regional playoffs.
Absolutely. Got a lovely matchup. I do believe I remember that Wichita State Shockers matchup against Oklahoma Christian in that search and destroy. Wichita State went up 5-0 in the raid.
They did.
Right? And then immediately 6 rounds in a row in favor of Oklahoma Christian. That's the reason why they are the #1 team. Bad per se, but we'll take a look at the head-to-head, see where these two teams lie as we're getting geared up for our final series of the night. You're just now tuning in. You missed a banger of a second series. First one, not so much. It was a dud. 3-0s. Thought we had a 3-0 on our hands last time around, but nonetheless, let's talk about this series. Some flawless search, or not flawless search, but some flawless hard points and overload victories coming through for the Pirates. Wichita State Shockers, a few more devastating blows, but they did go up against Oklahoma Christian, which is, for a reason, #1 team. That could be accounted for 3 of those maps in particular.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You look up and down. I mean, to be fair, all things considered, with this Wichita State roster, and you look at the veteran leadership of Exotic, and you see how that team has progressed year over year within the CCL, they've gotten much better from the place that they were in. It's just the problem is there's like a slope that they have to climb yet again in order to just even get to that next tier of like the top 4 teams. Hell, even the top 2 to 3 teams, like we saw the 5th ranked Northwood go up against the 2nd ranked St. Clair Saints, and the Saints put a smoke show down on them. I don't think a lot of people expected it to be as uninteresting of a series as it was, but that St. Clair roster just looks that good. And I mean, you look at the talent on that team, and I know that's not a part of this matchup, but I'm just going to preface it real quick. You look at the talent on that team, and the talent even as the top 1 through 4 teams. As being the 7th ranked team for the Wichita State Shockers, it's going to be a hurdle to even get to that top 4 spot. So a lot of work that still needs to be done for them. But again, they played at least a relatively respectable series against Oklahoma Christian, and I think that's the biggest thing. But for the Pirates, on the other hand, still 7-0, only lost to Search and Destroy. They've had a really good season so far. They've played some decent teams here and there. They beat the Ottawa Braves, and more importantly, they're looking to at least contend with Wichita State here in what should be a relatively good matchup.
Absolutely. We'll take a look where we are heading here for the best of 5. I knew we probably got spoiled on the upcoming screen, but nonetheless, we'll take a look at it here firsthand. Dan, hardpoint to start us off. Exposure, Search, and Destroy where we left off in the last series. Scar, Overload, yet again, and it's a double dosing if we get to a map 4. Granted, that case is the case. It's going to be a Scar hardpoint followed up by a Raid, Search, and Destroy. So, very unique rotation. I know the Den seems to be a pretty favorable map for the Pirates. The Exposure will be the first time we'll get to see the Shockers play. We'll see if they can handle the business that the Pirates can bring.
Absolutely. And I mean, I looked at this Den Hardpoint map 1, and it sucks because we didn't get to see really a great sample size on that first map that they played against Oklahoma Christian, but there were moments, at least at the beginning of that game before it got kind of out of hand in the second set of rotations, where it felt like Wichita State kind of had an identity that they wanted to stick to, and I think that's going to be huge against the ICC Pirates. The Pirates have been a team that has been realistically around for, I think, the last 4 to 5 years as a program, and they have made waves every year. It's been, a little bit difficult in some places, but as we hop into map 1 here, we'll save a little bit of that conversation for later as Chance flies through. Peach is able to get a trade. It's Wichita State who touched the point first, and they go back 2-2 inside of middle map. ICC will have the time if you want.
Oh, Chance. Starting to run and gun it, baby. Gets a bit hezzy for the gunfight. Deucer, wow, okay. Shots a little shaky right there. Things going back and forth. 11-2 is your stat line going in towards the setup for this new rotation. You can already start to see the focus on the mini-map. Players in white, Wichita State, looking to shock this Pirate roster. And while they still haven't sniffed out that last player, that's Vapor, that's going to be on the back lines He's going to be all on his lonesome, and nobody winning gunfights in the middle of the map. Not going to help the case.
Kind of pick a 50-50 battle there if you two start trying to slide to the right, and then another one shot from left. So it was just a gunfight that you were almost destined to lose in that situation. Vapor, what a nice little crispy shot there on the Kaiser. Deucer in the back line will be there for trade, so Spawns will, at least for the moment, stay in for Wichita State. The Shocker's going to get splits now on the opposite end as you're looking to push in through the roost. Pete's there to clean things up, and that's the full house nice and clean as Wichita State go ahead and hold P2.
Solid start here. Wichita State. Stiff had that player in Vapor on the back lines, and it has been murder she wrote. Pirates in a little bit of adversity here early on. Rilo trying to make something happen here. Shots just not necessarily landing. Peach going to be able to capitalize on some shots as well. Deucer shutting them down. SS1, okay, slipped his line, but is not going to be able to make anything happen with about 15 seconds left to go here for this P2 rotation. We're saddling up for new one. Well, I mean, the Shockers already there too as well. This one's starting to get bad to ugly here early on. Pirates need to get something going.
And Rilo through middle map. I'm not sure if he was just trying to play a corner for time there, but he had the entire wrap out from couches into P3. And it just let Deucer slip directly through the crack. So now we have Wichita State, who find themselves as a team combined 12 straight kills, 40-point advantage. And now it's a split spawn all the way out. You look to player 8 who's just laying down. I don't think you're going to read that somebody's pushing all the way through the back end side. Actually, I've proven completely wrong as Peach sniffs it out. You go 2-1. Now Deucer will sit in the corner on 7 in a row. Make it number 8.
Oh.
He is frying here on map 1.
He's got the snapper. That's the way to do it. Deucer, H-streak. Streaks in pocket. Hellstorm ready to roll. Last 30 seconds up here. Shockers. Ain't no shock about it. Deucer just playing his life to the fullest. Is going to finally get sniffed out. Finally, a break going to come through in blue. The Pirates looking to hold the objective for what seems to be the longest since P1 objective. Peach trying to insert himself in the equation. Yeah, he wins that one.
That's disgusting stuff right there. But on the rotation all the way back over to P4, we've got Wichita State ready in the comms. Let's hear what they're saying as they're looking to hold this line forward.
I have your help on the OE. I have your help on the OE.
Okay.
You want to like lay down close?
Yeah, I've been laying down close.
You have all mid? Whoever's on mid.
I was like, yeah, I have on mid, nothing here. They're going left me for sure. Yeah, they're not soul.
Big.
How much I'm getting it?
One's close right.
Yeah, oh, he's mid now. One shot, bottom red.
I won.
The worst
Another
time
one.
I think in the game. Let's get bottom red. You're going front.
Yeah, not hit.
Bottom red,
Plat. Let's go plat.
Nice
Flat.
one.
Outer. I'm spawning back
After
here.
half up.
Starter.
I'm here.
He's half up.
We tried to
I'm getting your man.
I'm spawning back drag.
Could be inner, look here.
Back up,
About her.
Head.
They're dead.
Nothing mid.
Equal center. Dead.
Shit, nice.
I'm stunning you. I just stunned us.
You stunned us.
You know what I mean?
One drag on me.
What the fuck?
The worst time, man.
Help you enter.
I'm
Hello?
going
Hello?
close to me.
I'm
I'm
going
going
I
close.
spawned up P2.
I'm behind P2. Give me a sec.
Outer going front.
Two dead. Another
Forward
P2
for now.
dead.
Hardpoint located.
Small. One shot small.
Outer right now.
One shot small. He's small.
Wait, push up time.
17-5 for Deucer. He has been frying here. Wichita State, they seem pretty calm in the comms right now. There is really nothing that is too pressing for them. They're just kind of playing their game right now. They got a 70-point lead, so it's looking good.
Well, they got a dope logo too, man. Those Shockers kind of hot, man. I'm not sure what that case is, but nonetheless, you said it. Comms are cool, calm, and collective. They sound like, just another day at the office. Rilo trying to make something happen here. The middle of the map. Deucer looking to step him out. Yeah, okay. Shots not going to be good enough for the kill. Oh, puts him on skates for a little bit, and the back line is now going to be approached. It is going to be one player to deal with on the back for this Pirate roster. And, well, Peach is going to go ahead and deal the final blow. That is going to be security for P2 spawn setup. Wichita State now trying to push the agenda.
Now Slump gets 3 for himself. That puts him directly double negative, but it was better than where he was sitting at 4 and 14 beforehand. We're going to look at him not only to grab this time here, which he's leading in, by the way, so maybe not the best performance in the slaying, but at least going ahead and making an impact. In the time portion, 130 to about 70. We'll call it 69. Nice for the time being. Inside is the slide in from Kaiser. You get a 3-1 trade once again. You don't have the spawns at the moment. I don't think you're kind of fretting too much at the moment, specifically because you've got this line so far pushed out into the garage.
We'll see if they can hold the line. Backside spawns. Is it a threat? Here comes the hit. Slump the initial push on through. Vapor going to be objected. Okay. Exotic also going to be dealt with. Some mistakes were made, but 1v1 left here for the objective. Kaiser says, hold my cup. I've got this. And well, with the last 25 seconds up for grabs, Spawn's going to be split for the time being. Doesn't matter. It is going to be The Shocker is able to capitalize on a huge break.
Vapor's going to know the spawns are in the back, but the timing could go wrong. Gets the first kill. Chance and Slump go ahead and double for a 2-piece. That's going to be all about the rotation back towards P3. Exotic tries to get a bit dicey inside of Couches. Pushes out into the mid-map of P1, and this is the split now set up for a hold opportunity. This is what I wanted to see out of the Pirates. Last time, they let middle map go for free. This time, they're not going to make that same mistake twice.
Oh, Slump shooting Ghost right there. Peach, shut down. No, Peach? Okay. Well, hold on. Hold my cup, he says. Verdict, shut your mouth. Peach, just continuing to shoot. Geyser as well, picking up the slack there. This objective, slapping is the Shockers. Vapor trying to throw a foot at it. Is going to be able to find one. Now going to have to wait for the retaliations from the crew as they're off the respawn, getting sniffed out. Geyser's just piecing them too. Exotic able to find a 3 in the feed. Peach finds the 4th. That's a full reset. Jesus Christ. Wichita State running rampant here in this hard point.
It was the Deucer show beforehand. Peach said, allow me to introduce myself one more quick time here. Plenty of skill when it comes to that AR stronghold for Peach. And Wichita State have a great talent for themselves on that roster. You look to the right side of the screen. Backside dojo. 2 now spawning in is 5. Peach will just hold that left side. Knows the second one will most likely be here. Good pre-fire shots to the right-hand side. Picks up into computers. And now Exotic is on the point by his lonesome. You got player 2 and Chance looking to find one in the back line. You're able to get it, but the trade is there immediately. Exotic tries with the pistol chow around the right-hand side, but everybody else should be here for the moment. Trades are good. Spawns are still in. No real threat at the moment from the Pirates.
None at all. Shockers just continuing to run this hard point indeed. Deucer playing cutoff man. Backside's Chance and Vapor. Able to find another as Vapor. Might be good enough for the break. Does get the flip. Comms are there. Push on through. Peach, man, just not missing, buddy. Whoa!
Yeah, Peach is disgusting. I think we can leave that one on the table. Started out slow, and all of a sudden the second rotation came through in that 28 and 19. Yeah, it's not looked relatively close. The Pirates struggling for time, pulling scraps together wherever they can, but they can't get out on rotation. The breaks are here and there. You might get a little bit of contested time, and you get in for a little bit, but you haven't really gotten to a spot where you've gotten the spawns in your favor, and that's kind of just hurt them the entire time. Exotic mid-map gonna piece one up. Still got help over the top from Peach, and why wouldn't you think that you're safe? You read the dojo push if you're Peach. Chances there for it, but they go 2-2 again.
Yo, Peach is shooting missiles right now. Cause for concern here for the Pirates as they've got to endure at least another 2 maps of this. This has gotten brutal. Finally, break gonna come through. Deucer on the back lines, able to get some shots in. Peach getting the credit for the kill. Deucer there for the break. And while 19 seconds is the win condition, Peach going to be forced to back on through as a sling. Is what the primary objective was for Peach at the initial, but is going to be forced back to the objective. Exotic going to pick up the slack. Can't win the second, or does win the first. Can't predict the second to come through. And well, break going to come on in, but the backline spawns here for this P2 setup. It's looking like it might be ending here.
10 more seconds. Back spawn house is being cleaned out. You got the wrap from Slum, Vapor here. Outside Platts trying to hold on for as long as they can. You're not sitting here really thinking that they've got much of a chance to pull this one back from a sizable deficit of about 130 points. But as Exotic looks to push in, again, you're just trying to give yourselves a bit of confidence going into the search and destroy. Back to the Couches. It's another double push in. You've got 2 holding from the front end. And Vapor goes and finds another. So 30 seconds left on P2. Wichita just needs 5 seconds. We're having a bit of trouble breaking in.
Only need 5 seconds here for the win. If you are the ICC Pirates, hold that line. Peach, been on all series so far, 34 and 22. Of course, they're going to be getting that initial blood to get the break. Last 4 seconds up for grabs. Nobody coming off the respawns. 249, 250 to 143. A beat down here in map number 1. A little bit of signs of life towards the end, but nonetheless, Wichita State Shockers coming through with the victory.
Not too shabby for the Wichita State Shockers. 7th ranked team, doing exactly what we expected them to do here in map 1. Maybe not win it as by a sizable of a margin as we saw on the total score line, but still going and being able to take map 1. Like I said beforehand, yeah, sure, ICC is 7-0 going into this, but Wichita State, they would be right there along with them if they hadn't played Oklahoma Christian. And they were one of the teams so far that has played Oklahoma Christian to about the best series that anybody has played against them. So if there's anybody that's going to be able to bounce back, It's going to be this Wichita State team, as I said beforehand. A lot of great leadership from Exotic, previous Challengers champion. Has plenty of top-level Call of Duty knowledge, and these younger guys that he's playing with right now, leading them up. Peach, Kaiser, Deucer, every one of these kids is a fryer, and they're going to continue to do just that. Might not be enough to get toe-to-toe with Oklahoma Christian, but give them a couple more weeks, and maybe they'll be on upset alert for a couple of the other top teams.
I like that analysis. It's a good breakdown. They're all cooking, man. And if killing was the business, business is damn good. Wichita State locking it in here. You take a look at the flow chart. It was close in the first point. Then it just completely went downhill there. There's not really much rolling there for the ICC Pirates. And what was crazy when I was trying to do my research earlier, this is one of their best maps and best modes. And they had yet to been defeated this split. Well, they handled, I mean, that loss brutally. That was, you know, one where you just don't see the guns firing back on all cylinders. You couldn't get anything rolling there in the first set. Second set just as bad.
Big little split there. After P1, it looked pretty good. After P2, didn't really look that great for the ICC Pirates. We'll take a look at the statistics and the breakdown across the board. Slump had a rough go of things. 15 and 29, 18 and 31 from Chance in the same breath, but 2,500 damage to pair along with that. Vapor, though, was frying throughout the majority of that game. Only 25 seconds to boast, but it was hard and tough to come by a bit of hill time for the Pirates throughout the entirety of that game. But at least we're seeing the two players who weren't having the best go of things in the slaying department still picking up significant chunks of hill time, giving the score across the board. But now we go into a search and destroy, where, as you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Wichita State, last time they played a search and destroy against a top team, or a team that was at the precipice of their top cut, it was a 5-0 lead that very quickly turned, sorry, a 5-1 lead that very quickly turned into a 6-5 loss where Oklahoma Christian took it up. Not the same map. That'll be later on if we go to the raid. But I think their search and destroy is going to look a bit better here. I wouldn't expect, if they get out to a good start early inside of this exposure, that they'll kind of just piss it away at the end.
Absolutely. Good breakdown, good analysis. Exposure, search, or destroy, not the case. For the raid, blunders will, if it gets the distance, we'll see it nonetheless. Here we are. For what I feel like is one of the better maps to be played in Search and Destroy. We saw a round 11 in our last series. It went the distance. It was, or no, it didn't. That's a complete lie. That was the raid. Never mind. That was a 6-1. It was a blowout. It's a beatdown. Is it going to be any closer here in this one though?
I would assume so. Again, I don't think ICC was, you know, ever really in a spot where I was like, man, they're just getting kind of dog pounded. It was more so like they were just kind of struggling and stringing along together, taking whatever Wichita State would give them at the back end of hill time. They weren't necessarily aggressing the issue. So I think in the search and destroy, we can kind of slow down, get the comms back under pace a bit. I think this is where you're going to see ICC really get to set up and form a bit more. Up top, though, Kaiser will have the sniper. Does he see anything? What a snipe shot there. Oh, yeah, through the wall, Papa Kaiser. That's how it's done, sir.
That shouldn't be happening. That's illegal. Good follow-up shot. Kaiser. First blood in it. Another follow-up kill comes through for Exotic. Bomb plant to go along with it, and, well, this one's starting to look a little grim off the rip. 2v4 here for the retake. Schlump. Looking for anything and everything. Exotic. No, don't do it to him, buddy. Buddy. Brother.
We were in prime positioning for a couple back shots on P3 at the top. Vapor, though, great shots with the AR over the top. Kaiser falls off the map. Wait a second, it's a 1v1. They troll around for a little bit, but with 15 seconds left, you might have to read that this is going to be a dirt hit out to the right side. And instead, you play through middle map. 10 seconds left. You get the read on it. Shots aren't going to be there, and now you can just play the time if you're a Deucer. Little peek, say hello. Couple of shoulders. You'll run out into the open, and that will be a free kill for the final Shocker player left alive. So in the opening round of the Search and Destroy, we expected it, and it happens. Wichita State goes up 1-0.
That almost got too close to call. Deucer able to win the gunfight. Obviously, Vapor has been, I mean, he's been absolutely on fire. Not able to win that gunfight. Nonetheless, time wasn't of the essence either, too. So, first round through. Wichita State, Shockers handling business off the rip. Kaiser, we saw you do a very nasty thing last round. We're going to be on board with you off the rip, too. So, we'll see if you can maybe replicate it or give us a glimpse of the madness.
Sniper looks to top mid, but it is a 4-man hit for the ICC Pirates. Independence Community College trying to get this bomb down over on the B site. With relatively no pressure here, Deucer going to be slow walking, holds the ADS, challenges out right side. Good shots onto the first, head glitch on the second. Good respect from the player behind, not wanting to give the life away, but it won't matter as Deucer is still there. Goes for the immediate hop back onto the bomb. Slump going to be here. It is just a straight shot forward from Kaiser, who's got the submachine gun out. 3 for Deucer on a row, 2 there from Kaiser. And that will do it here to end the round. Another round that goes to the Wichita State Shockers, and business as usual.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no hesitation at all either. That's a lot of confidence. And we love to see it right now. Wichita State Shockers giving them the business, the Pirates. Find your wits about you here in this one. I mean, you know what happened in the first round. Let's see if you can, you know, adapt and overcome. Sometimes it's a lot easier said than done.
Should get another snipe opportunity here for Kaiser, and there it is. I mean, if you're going to challenge P3 window, you can't be just kind of slow peeking it and just bobbing your head up haphazardly. They get all the way through ring. There's going to be one in the back line here, and I think he saw one go through already. You don't expect a second player here. Snipe shot, not going to connect. 2 versus 2. Exotic on the staircase. Knows one's going to be on the plat here. He's got the help with him. Now up through the Zig cut. Looks for the pistol shot. Slump wins it. 1 versus 1. Now it's a push in from Zig. Peach. Right side corner. Jump challenge. In from Slump. He'll win it. And finally, the Pirates will get on the board. It's an unfortunate gunfight that doesn't go the way of the Wichita State Shockers, but the Pirates will be happy to get the trades on that one.
All right, Schlump. Big 2-piece to close the round out. Takes the victory. Wins the ones. Peach was hot and heavy in map number 1. It's brought down the reality here in round number 3. Finally got something on board for the ICC Pirates. Is it enough to mount a comeback so early in this Search or Destroy to find out? We'll see how they play it round by round. So far, the adaptation was there. P3, I mean, if you're going to be peeking that window, I mean, just... I don't know. I don't think that's the play moving forward.
Double chow long, up middle with the bomb. Exotic will hop inside of the crate. I don't think anybody saw him get close and personal. And he's going to go to the top side of ladder and now can just lay down, survey the field. And this is a spot that you just never check if you're playing out dirt. But Kaiser still has the sniper out all the way in the back. Chance shaky shots at first, but is able to make the long route stick through. Deucer does the exact same on the opposite side of the map. So things will flip out for a moment, but it'll be a 2 versus 3 stabilization with the Pirates down in lives. Exotic gets the call to top P3, and he's just going to get those first shots in. That's dead immediately. Good luck, have fun, Chance. 1v3.
Yo, let's make it... I love that. I love everything about that call. Exotic, you got my vote, buddy. Whatever it is, I will follow you anywhere in life. Even off the top side of that. 720 spins into Narnia, into the Oblivion. Chance in a 1v2 now. Difficulty levels increase. Peach. Shut down. Hold the phone. Bombs in his hands. Chance in a 1v2. Down to a 1v1. Deucer. Not going to push the agenda. Bomb's going to get planted. 45 seconds. Here he goes.
I was wondering who the timing was going to go to. Deucer spots him. Shots once again. Good from ICC. So Exotic, top middle platform, tries to hit the ladder, drops down, kills himself. You got the last 2 there. You take 2 solo 1v1s, and Deucer just gets good timing. All of a sudden, got a 2-2 S&D. A lot closer than it was after 2 rounds. Tell you what.
I still agree with Exotic's decision to jump off the
I
map
don't disagree. That was fun.
That was exciting. And that's what we need a little bit more of in our life. Some excitement. Chance. Clutch just a 1v3. And all of a sudden, we've got a 2-2 here in the Search and Destroy. Things starting to get interesting here. Kaiser with the boomstick. 5 and 4. Okay, finally. Rilo doing business right there.
So the sniper will fall early on. Rilo will open up. Exotic says, I want to turn. Goes ahead, tries to get to the left. It's just a slide challenge underneath. If he was up just a touch further, he would have found the shot there. But the Pirates, a flawless round and, well, a few extracurricular shots that come through afterwards. I know you've won 3 straight, but the game's nowhere near over. I'm not sure if I'd be shooting bodies yet.
Body shooting is interesting, as we've seen already, like, 3 suicides from... Well, I don't know if I could say that on stream. I'm sorry. 3 self-sabotages. Maybe it's 2. I don't know if I can count proper, but
I think it was 2. I remember it was like the first round and
okay,
then
it
that
was
one
2.
there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But they won that first round, so very
Yeah.
least hasn't been too big of a deal, all things considered. With the bomb up through middle, they're going to hit the bottom side of ring. Peach is just going to fly with the AR top solar. Look for the bottom side of P2. Nobody slipped through the crack shit, and really nobody's making a route out towards the B side right now. They're just watching for the push through. Exotic's pushed all the way up through mid-map, though. They don't realize that Deucer is going to be out-turfed, so you get free kills across the map. Finally, it's traded out middle map, but it's still 3 versus 2. Numbers here in Zig. That's a bit shaky. 2-2. What?
Oh, Peach.
What are we doing?
Shut down. 1v2 up for grabs. Deucer. Now on the trace, on the trail, looking for any and everything. Bomb's going to get planted in the midst of the action. 50 seconds going to be reduced to 45. Here comes the hit in the middle of the map, playing cut off. Yep, free shots. Tagged them up, bagged them up, wrap it up. 4 rounds in a row?
I'm curious at some of the play calls that are happening here from Wichita State. I don't know if it's just overconfidence after map 1 in the first 2 rounds of the search and destroy here, or if it's something a bit more a bit more complex that's happening. But it just seems like these last few rounds, it has just been kind of throw after throw. Like the 2 kills in mid to Rilo in round I believe that was 5. Round 6, you just have a 3-2 advantage, and then you just give 1Vs. Peach gets caught out in the middle of no man's land over by P2. It just feels like we're this kind of chowing things to chow things right now, and they're not really giving the Pirates the respect that they deserve, specifically in this S&D, and this could come back to bite them overall.
It could. We'll see. First blood's through. 6th time now, going in favor of the Shockers. Exotic on the trail. Oh, business. No pleasure here in this one. Unless your pleasure is in killing, and surely enough, they are absolutely loving it. Chance in a 1v4 or 1v3 grabs. We'll see if he has any luck that he had in a few rounds back.
I mean, he's on 7 straight right now. He's looking for a Hellstorm. I don't actually know if he has the streaks on or not, but the bomb will go down. They give him the free plant kill, but it is the sniper that is playing up long that will send this round to sleep. So finally, Wichita State will get back on track. It seems like playtime might be over. At least for now. I don't know. Dude, those like 3 rounds were really weird. They were just really strange out of Wichita State. It just didn't look like them.
Well, I mean, they do say respect is earned. It's not given. And I think ICC have finally earned it. And well, on a serious note, couldn't handle the pressure there in that last round. Maybe we start to see a serious Shockers roster here in this search and destroy. We don't see anything fun and out of craziness. Nonetheless, Pirates still above 4-3 here in this search and destroy. Deucer looking to throw a shoulder. Nobody really trying to give him anything to work with.
Well, finally, Kaiser will get a taste of his own medicine with the sniper. Chance will actually find Exotic as well. So both the players on Wichita State that had a sniper in their hands within a few of these rounds will fall to the demise of Chance, who is now at 11-4. He is having, again, a phenomenal search and destroy here, carrying the mantle with Slump close behind him. Deucer now left alive in a 1v4. Free gunfight given to him. Out on B, I was going to say, one player is by himself, but surely on the plat hop, they should be able to find that, and they absolutely do. So the Pirates now at match point after the first couple of rounds of this S&D. It felt like it was going to be all Wichita State once again, but as I said, you give yourselves a little bit of time. You can get a bit more kind of like collective in the comms, start playing together. All of a sudden, the S&D starts looking better for you, and you're at match point with an opportunity to tie this series up at 1 apiece.
Which Shockers roster are we going to see pop up here, and what could be the last round of the search and destroy? So far, it's been serious after losing 3 rounds in a row, potentially losing a map here if they don't figure it out. Cross going to be spotted. Kaiser going to be able to get some intel there on the midpoint of the map, and that's going to be the audible call. That looks like they're going to buckle up for a B-side hit. There is plenty to approach here. Exotic going to be the tip of the spear.
I love how the Pirates back off this, though. They know that the hit is coming. They recognize that. They give up the bomb site for a team retake. This is going to allow Exotic or somebody from Wichita State to push up, and it just happens to be Exotic in this case. And they get a blood immediately for it. Now they can just sit back, wait for a wrap through middle map. If Wichita State wants to wrap this back out middle, they have a player there. This is just a great setup, all things considered. And once this bomb goes down, then they can fully attack with 4.
Doubling down. They said not the middle of the map. We're going to go ahead and take it. Post plant 3v4 here for the hold. And for the map, Kaiser, Deucer, and Peach left to hold the site. Aggression. Deucer catches one lacking up top, but the trade's going to come through. It is going to be Vapor and Chance finding 2.
It just can't be something that you afford there, but it's Rilo who flanks all the way throughout middle map, and the Pirates in the search and destroy. It felt rather improbable after the first few rounds of the S&D, but they go ahead, they clutch themselves forward, they win it 6-3. Maybe the respect wasn't there inside of the hard point, but in this search and destroy, it absolutely is. We are now tied up in this series at 1 apiece.
Final kill coming through. Rilo catches him on the escape out. Kaiser not able to round the corner. In a very successful search for the boys in blue. ICC Pirates. You saw the first 2 rounds were beatdowns, and then 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 4 rounds in a row on kills. Respect earned, mission passed. ICC Pirates shut down the Shockers. But we've got ourselves a series.
All things considered, Pirates, Independence Community College, they gave respect to the snipe lane, didn't challenge directly, and they started playing very quickly on the map in comparison to what they did those first 2 rounds. Those first 2 rounds, they were feeling out the game. We're saying, okay,
love it.
Kaiser's just going to play throughout middle map, and if he's going to play a long angle anywhere, it's going to be with a sniper. If you even see him on a shoulder, or you know that one lane is kind of open, most likely that's where the sniper is going to be, and then they attack that. And I think once they started to attack the sniper and then pull out the sniper on their own side and then found success with that, that's when the game really started to turn around. So credit where credit's due. Chance played a wonderful game. We'll see right here in the stats breakdown from map 2. But 12-4, a carry up by 7-6 from Slump in the background. You can have a bad game of Vapor at 4-7. Didn't really matter. It was a 2-man show.
I mean, if there's any time that you're getting 6 first bloods and you're not converting that into round wins, there's a problem. I know that we addressed, a little bit of trolling off the rip. But even after that, it was time and time and time again where Wichita State would take the advantage and just sell it out. I'm sure they'll go back and look and see, try to pinpoint where, things went wrong after they started taking things seriously. But by that time, it was a day late and a dollar short. Chance rocking a 12-4 stat line, 8 kill streak being the highest. An absolute masterclass from him.
Well, we're guaranteed to map 4, so let's take a look at our map set real quick, because I don't think I remembered what map 4 was. As we look ahead, we got a Scar hard point at least that is going to be there when we get on out of the Scar Overload. But we'll keep things current. We'll talk about the Scar Overload real quick. At least we'll give you a bit of a preview. We looked at the overall records. ICC pretty much undefeated in the mode. And as they continue to go forward on this season, really S&D was their only blemish. So the fact that they're able to take down a very strong Wichita State roster in the S&D, go to a map 3, it's showing me at least that these respawns could be kind to them. We saw Wichita State lose 1-7 to Oklahoma Christian on broadcast, but in a lot of the other overloads that they have played throughout the season, there's only been 2 that were really all that spread out. It was against the Bellevue Bruins and SDSU. Opposed to that, Nebraska and WOSU, Arkansas, they played them relatively close. It was only 2 to 3 scores between the 2 teams. So this could be a mode where the ICC Pirates, if they're lucky, maybe not even lucky, if they just continue to play with the same panache that they had in map 2, they very easily could topple the Shockers roster in map 3 and stun them going up 2-1 in map 4.
Yeah, and all you have to do is go back 2 weeks, as you mentioned earlier, the series against Oklahoma Christian, where, Wichita State took a loss back-to-back in that series, 3-0. Went up in the series 5-1 in the search and destroy. They got into the Scar Overload and got obliterated. It wasn't even relatively close. So if there's any notes that you could take in from that series, if you watched the VOD, were you able to capitalize on it and translate it into your gameplay here moving forward? I think that, that's where you got to dig deep. And I do believe that if you want to win this series, if you did allow Scar to pop on through, that if you're Wichita State, you had to have done a little bit of work on it. Will it translate here against an ICC Pirates team who have a lot of momentum rolling off of that exposure search and destroy win? That's a lot of swagger coming in.
It absolutely is. and all things considered, in map 1, I just want to go back to it because I don't think we were able to serve it justice before map 2 started. I don't think ICC really were in a state where they were comfortable. I think Wichita State were kind of just moving around the map at will. And there wasn't many moments until the very end of the game when everything came down to that final hold where Wichita State were trying to break into P2 that I actually saw the Pirates push, hold, and sustain together. Because there wasn't a moment like when they were breaking into P3, they let middle map go uncontested, let somebody run directly through it, and then Wichita State were just able to get 3 without a trade. On P4, it was the same thing. ICC would get close to the window, they'd hit outer plat, they'd be ready to push the backside spawns, they'd get like 1 or 2 kills, and then they would just kind of hold and wait. And there, again, wasn't that urgency there. And that's where I get kind of scared in an overload, where you have to push the agenda and you have to make sure that not only do you have map control, but you're also keeping tabs of where the other players are and being able to slip through the cracks where you're given opportunity to either push the A or the B zone. I'm a little worried about that for the Pirates. But if I can see anything like I did at the end of the hard point, then I'll be a bit more happy. I just don't think Wichita State have necessarily been like too hardly tested in overload, except for by Oklahoma Christian. So this should be a good matchup for ICC to kind of see what they have in their overload repertoire.
Well, let's go ahead and find out who's done their homework, who's done their reconnaissance. Kaiser in the middle of the map, pushing through with a lot of confidence as well. Peach right there along with him. Exotic going to be able to get the trades on through. Waiting for the EMP to low on in. Schlump found his way through the middle of the map, but Exotic going to be able to sniff him out. Peach there to get some shots in, but is traded out.
Good kill from Chance inside of Market. Exotic was looking to push immediately after. Pistol's not going to be enough. Top blue, Peach is a trade. Kaiser in middle map will go ahead and shoot himself a few bodies of Vapor.
Yeah.
Thinking he's enjoying himself in the moment. That might have been a turn on that we saw in the back half of it. Regardless, Exotic looking to push out middle with the AR in tow. Not able to get past the line of slump. So realistically, that south side of the map by red is what Wichita State are hoping to be able to maneuver through. It just really falls down in the hands of Deucer finding those opening engagements. But the full map spread from top green out to the mid cut is there from the Pirates. And now it's just a drop down onto Peach to get this last player. Okay,
Peach. Exotic there, 2-piece, massive. Vapor. Oh my, almost gets the turn there. Deucer going to be able to end his streak. EMP going to be collected. No harm, no foul so far. Trades on trades for days to days. Map control is at an all-time high. Wichita State looking to go ahead and push on through to the goal line. Exotic going to get shut down. And, well, that's going to be Chance and crew trying to do everything they can to push this across the 50-yard line.
And if you're Peach, you're happy with that. Beautiful shot. We'll finish it off at the end of the mag on the headshot. But there are 2 players close spawning. One in the inner cut, one playing outer behind the black barrel. Chance at 80 HP, doesn't realize that there's one around the corner. Peach gets caught out for it, so the respawns and reinforcements are enough to hold the line steady. It was a goal line block there in the red zone. Now Chance can push forward outside of red. Looks down for Deucer. That's 4 dead now. They can go ahead and push themselves through middle map and hopefully get a score.
Okay, Chance picking up the fire. Like he didn't skip a beat from map 2 to map 3. Here is the Scar overload has been a battle of attrition so far. Nobody able to get anything rolling as the EMP resets. Kaiser, man in the middle of the fort, waiting for anybody to push on through. So Mentel is going to come through. Didn't necessarily see the cross, did he? No, he doesn't see anybody up top either. And that's going to be a 2-piece in favor of ICC Pirates, looking to push up for a little bit of map control.
Well, ICC's got positioning. Player 5 pushing into the spawns. Although it's a kill that comes through, they go 3 down. Let's see how they recuperate off the spawn. We'll go to a listen with ICC.
He's already pushed up 18, bro.
Deucer. Oh, he's at bottom 18, damn it. He's weak. He's really weak.
Let's do that.
Ryla still push up right. Like,
I mean,
you gotta take him.
18 on me, guys.
Okay, I'm trying. Oh, he's in on me.
Top right now,
Weak.
Peach.
Mid cut.
Peach hitting through right. Peach hitting through right.
Exotic was mid cut.
Yeah, on ball.
Here,
On point dead. They're gonna grab it. They're trying to grab it. Last one.
Nice.
We're missing one.
Nice. Kaiser. Off.
Don't grab it. Do not let it reset.
One Kaiser weak. Train.
It's weakest one. Good. I'm
I'm
gonna grab this one.
gonna give a store. I'm gonna back up store.
Yeah, you guys. They're already up red. There could be a red.
Bottom red Peach.
Middle cut.
Peach is in. Yeah, how many train? Dude, 2 there. They're jumping up top red. Play ball. I'll go.
Right. Back rain here. Back rain.
Oh, I mean, we were talking about it during the listen, and one of the things that we were noting for ICC is they were doing a great job of holding the back line, but once that first snowball hits through, it kind of just feels like it's going to be impossible for them to stop the onslaught of players from Wichita State, and that's exactly what's happened. 2 quick scores back-to-back within the same 45 seconds, and now the Pirates on the really favorable side, all things considered. aren't looking all that hot. They have not had any sizable offensive attempt to the A or the B zone.
Oh, yeah. And Shockers, they smell blood in the water. They're just going to continue to push and prod and poke and whatever they can. Vapor going to be sniffed out, shut down. As the MP respawns there on towards the P2 objective. Kaiser and crew got map control for days here, now pushing them back into the spawn. And, well, I mean, for the time being, it's not looking like they have too much of an urgency to push through and capitalize on it. More so or less just keeping everybody at bay.
Kaiser knows one's deep behind red. Chance will make him pay for the overaggression into top green. Peach top red, good shots close up with the AR, but unfortunately, a nade will land directly on his feet. Good placement from the reinforcements of Wichita State. Rilo up top red, looking for Deucer. Good shots is going to rip the head off of one. Second one there on a flank in from behind. Now it's going to be another 3 dead as they push into the spawn side. Exotic's looking for Slump on the back deep left. Nobody's going to be able to spawn red. It's all going to be far, far away from this point. Can they get the last second score? Flank now comes in. Exotic finds one, turns back around, has to grab it with just half a second left. They're not going to be able to get it. Once again, a goal line stop. 2 scores in total for Wichita State. Now the Pirates go to the favorable side. Can they go ahead, tally this back, and maybe, just maybe, get over the hump?
Exotic being a man on a mission here. Didn't really start the hardpoint off very hot, but played the objective to a T. Literally being the tip of the spear here right before we get that second score, that first score to come through. Rilo gonna get shut down in the midst of that. 2,200 damage indeed, 2,300 almost. Well, they didn't get a score right there either. That was kind of a crazy feat, though, for them not to be able to capitalize on.
I mean, you can just look at the numbers at the top of the screen, too. The Pirates are getting outslayed. The reason they're hanging on right now is quite literally just because they're able to win the gunfights off of the spawn. No map presence has been felt, no pressure in any of the lanes. And Wichita State are just piling on as they fly forward. Kaiser goes through market unchecked, is able to get inside of bottom blue, now can get up top, and this is where you can start to carve out a path over to that B or the A zone. It's not going to matter, though. Directly from the top of blue, Exotic in through middle map, and we'll finish it off with the pistol. It is Wichita State's map to lose.
Oh, boy. Scoop and score. Heat check here for Wichita State. They are running the tables. The gauntlet has been thrown down. Exotic on a spree. Nades out there for Chance, doing any and everything he can. Can't. Oh, he does can. He does can. What kind of English is that, verdict? Jesus Christ.
Pistol shots. Deep on. Doesn't realize there's going to be another 2 there. Finally, though, Kaiser will put the final nail in the coffin for this offensive hit. 4-0. So after it was about, I don't know, say 4 minutes of relatively no scores for either of these two sides in that first half, Wichita State has come out of the gun, and Exotic will make another player pay yet again. 26 and 13, make it 27, 4 in a row. Back out to middle map, still has a pistol and the AR to work with. They know he's here. Are you going to be able to challenge him? Absolutely not. Clear the way. The landing zone is open. The 747 has landed. It's John Exotic.
Jesus Christ, man. These people have families. Who cares? 7th streak in. Finally taking some shots. Chance not able to seal the deal. The one that got away, he's going to make you pay every day. Look at this. An absolute freak show. They have been on the hunt for this guy for the past 2 minutes. And he's just so elusive. He can't lose. 31 and 13. 8th streak earned. Hellstorm as well. This, I mean, 6 points have already been scored. 2 points is we've followed Exotic here in his feed and his tyrant. Here comes the Hellstorm missiles to add insult to injury.
It's a complete takeover. He keeps them inside of blue. He's going to bring it directly to the backside of spawn. Somehow that doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll matter all that much. 7-0. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Full red control. 8 streak looking for number 9. Can you swap to 10? Snap back to the left, almost good enough, but finally it'll end. And Peach will go ahead, add insult to injury with another Hellstorm over the top, raining hell down from the heavens above. And as they grab it, look to push the objective forward. Outside of blue, it's 3. All 4 dead. 8-0 to the Wichita State Shockers. That second half was pure dominating bliss.
Oh, boy. What a show. Exotic. He's a ringleader. Let me tell you. Hunt this man down. You would have been rewarded would have been an honorable death back in the day. This one just an absolute travesty. as we don't even need to take a look at the post-action report. Let's take a look at this one. It was a brutal SCAR overload. Wichita State strike back very quickly, getting to that second half. They scored 6 points in a matter of like 3 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was rather crazy. I mean, credit where credit's due. Exotic pushes the spawns out, gets lost for basically the entire half. I don't think he died in the second half, or maybe bar one kill at the very beginning of the round, but towards the end when he was on his 9 spree, it didn't matter. By the time he had died a second time, the game was already over. Deucer was able to push it too. Kaiser and Peach were just making it chaos. And they were reading the spawns every time. Like we were talking about it, like, yeah, they're going to know not only the secondary spawn, but the primary spawn. They were just bouncing back and forth between plain side, holding it from the north side, making sure that they were spawning realistically only back B. And when you're doing that and you can't even find 1 kill, bar 2 coming out, you're not going to have any success. ICC, it was all back foot inside of map 3. They had nothing when it came to actually putting any pressure anywhere except their spawn side. And that is what ultimately made them pay the price. 24 non-traded kills for John Exotic, 3,500 damage. We go map 4, where the respawns have been all shockers.
And where else to go but SCAR back to back? We see this series could come to an end if it's anything like that overload. Obviously, the respawns have been favored the side of Wichita State Shockers. Chance doing everything he can to try to save face and maintain some kind of resilience here in this series. We'll hope that him and Vapor can continue to do so. Rilo and Slump, on the other hand, it's just not a really good map. It's kind of hard to do things remotely, objective based, but you've got a guy like Exotic who is just all up in your spawns, and let's just be real, he was letting you have the business. 32 and 14, a freakish stat line. SCAR, hard point, right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. This one's been a fun one so far. I mean, that search and destroy was a curveball for sure. And I know Wichita State wasn't expecting it, but here we are, getting geared up. They caught you right. Hey, there he is. You over there swatting flies still, buddy?
No, there's a little water on my desk. I spilled it when I was drinking. I was being a little haphazard. But no, it's all gone now. But all good. I will say,
Jesus Christ.
all things considered, as we look across this series, ICC, the only map that they had lost coming into this was a search and destroy. They now have been handed their first losses in Hardpoint and Overload, respectively. So things are starting to even out in the Midwest Great Plains top cut. Wichita State, they want to reclaim some positioning up there. I know records can be a little damning sometimes, especially as the Pirates are 6-0 and Wichita State does have that loss already handed to them. But I think when we look at what we see inside of the Midwest Great Plains, it is a very, very tough division to not only remain at the top of, but be competitive in because of how much talent is within the top of that group. I think at the end of the season, what we'll probably see Wichita State and Oklahoma Christian playing in that championship game, but I have been corrected beforehand. ICC, they want a little bit of something to say about it, so going into the map 4, that is what they're trying to play for here. It seems kind of like doom and gloom to talk about like, oh, you got to win this game. This feels like a must win at this point in the season, but when you're playing the teams that are at the peak level that are going to be fighting for potentially not only just the CCL playoffs, but a championship at the end of the year, these are the matches that you have to win against them because regular season be damned, we don't have an AP top 25 that puts teams that don't belong there inside of the championship and or playoff game. So
whoa, that was a lot to unpack there. That was a hell of a shot that you took towards the end. I love that.
See, I'm not mad. I'm a Miami fan, so it doesn't matter to me. But.
Yeah, let's roll. I love to hear that. Spitting blazes. We're getting geared up for it. Map 4 could be the last journey here. It's do or die for ICC. Pirates, on the other hand, their map to lose for Wichita State Shockers, who have came through and been flawless on the respawns. As a matter of fact, heading 2 losses to ICC so far on them alone. So no, you don't want to be doom and gloom, but the sad reality is you need this map if you're ICC to get to that game 5. And if you get to that game 5, you might have a shot at this series.
Wichita State, opportunity to give the Pirates their first loss of the season, very akin to what we saw in the previous best-of-5 series between Iowa State and the Indiana Hoosiers. Slump will find himself directly into the onslaught of mid-map. He's got somebody top green. But this is what happened beforehand. Kaiser goes unchecked, and we get a draw. John, I know you're not on the broadcast right now, but I promise you I'm a curse.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, dude. All right. It does happen. But no, to go back to, I mean, because in the heat of the moment I was listening, but then it's just like I wasn't retaining it. That was just a wild rant towards the end of your expressive breakdown. And I mean, I'd love to go back and clip that and just, I mean, that's gold right there, buddy. We need more of that in our life. Some sad realities and some harsh truths. A lot to swallow for some, but hey, we're here for it. Love to see it now. Get a reset as the rules were not made proper for that last map. That's quite all right. We want to make sure everything's cool, calm, and collected before we get started here for what could be our last map of the night.
All right, well, we got the command that we can go ahead and step aside real quick. So we're going to do that. We're going to come back. Map 4 will be underway in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Final night of this Monday, final match of this Monday night here for the CCL. We'll be back in just a second. Here we go. Hardpoint back underway. This time we got the right rule set. And we've got a bit of a shakeup off the rip. It was Kaiser who was able to go through market unchecked. This time they checked the market. It's still Wichita State who get the P1 time, but hey, at least a little bit of a different look.
A little bit of a different. Some headshot multipliers coming through too for Deucer. Able to get one before he is done. Chance has been everything for this ICC Pirates roster. Going to be playing the objective to go along with it. Kaiser trying to knock on the top side of that blue building, and surely enough, oh, bites off a little more than he can chew. So Rilo going to be able to take the credit for the kill. Exotic now trying to be the backline defense too as well. It's going to get shut down too. So far so good. The feed lighting up blue. ICC Pirates coming to play here in the hardpoint.
Vapor Wool, the top side of red. I don't think he realizes that Deucer's on the flank. And yeah, why would you? You don't expect that spawn out there. You probably didn't get the call out or the read. But now you can fully turn around. You know that the green spawns are there for Wichita State. Slump will find one. That's actually a big kill to go ahead and allow all the rest of the players to push their way forward. You still have to take care of Exotic, who's top red, and Peach as well. It's going to be a double chow that should be almost impossible to rip off of, but you at least get the first domino to fall. Deucer will lay down. Shot's good from Peach over the top. 3 kills to 1, and a little team kill comes in from Exotic there. Cheeky.
We love a little cheeky. It happens. Schlump. Trying to get cheeky in the middle of the map. Sniffed out. Kaiser able to get the trade quickly. Chance up top. Making a rumble here as the break does come through for the back 15. Now it's all about the focus here for the P3 objective. Exotic trying to play cutoff man in the middle of the map. Is able to find one and is done instantly, is traded out. So Chance now doing what he does most, and that's getting those transitional kills. Unfortunate for him. Bites the bullet to Deucer. Set up here early being made in blue. ICC Pirates have the advantage. Can they hold?
Peach has a lookout from blue. Gonna use the wall bounce to the advantage just to get information read out to the rest of the team. Kaiser, good snapshots back from top green. You've got the map basically flipped out. They're still gonna be spawning back green here because of the positioning that Kaiser is in. So realistically, you were just trying to be the thorn in the side, play the back contention point. Exotic down low will continue to win gunfights. He's got one more dropping down on top of it. And if you're Rilo, you feel like you gotta win that. And it's Vapor who will finally come in and at least stop the time from going to the Wichita State Shockers. They've got players and bodies back here ready for it. Peach looking out on the right-hand side. Rilo, good bounce shot over the top, dropped directly down into the line of fire. I don't think that's what he wanted to do, but Slump just gets caught with his knife out. Nice.
All right. Wichita State. Stake their claim here at the top. Peach trying to gather up as much time as they can as we rumble over towards the P4 site. Exotic playing the back line. Chance able to find the first blood. Forces Exotic out. Here comes the 2v2 hit. Exotic shut down. That is massive here for Chance, but will it mount to much now as he's got the back lines, but it is Kaiser who solidifies spawns in the opening here for the P4 site. Bottom blue. Not going to be in blue. It's going to be in white. Wichita State all over it.
40 seconds up for grabs. You can see the pinch coming in from every direction. The spawns were pretty deep in the back, so you're going to be able to push a sizable amount forward. You get 3 for it. Slump with a costly mistake on himself. But that will flip the map out completely. You have Rilo trying to find Exotic, but you have help there from the weak side. Now up to top blue. Vapor on the cross. He gives away his position. Doesn't pepper anybody up, but it's still blue that's coming in. Peach will slide through. He's able to find a double. Kaiser there for help, and now it's all about containing and corralling. Getting out across the map for P5 as Wichita is the first team to cross the 100-point mark.
Oh, brother. Wichita get the 100-point club now. The rotation's over being made. They have solidified. Peach just playing a cheeky off angle. Waiting for anybody to cut on through. Premature shots. Doesn't matter. Able to find one, but Vapor able to shut you down. Backline still being approached here. And for the first 15 seconds, not even moderately contested. Wichita State continuing to run away with it.
At a certain point, somebody's going to start asking, hey, somebody help Chance. Can we get Chance some help?
Somebody.
At 20-11 right now, he's frying. There's really not anybody else that's there. I mean, he's been very influential in being able to at least get a few moments of positioning for ICC. Other than that, though, those 49 points have been really tooth and nail fought for. From the front side, you'll get top green control if you're slumped. You're going to reload that M15. Unfortunately, Deucer will be ready, and there's 2 people playing top green. You really don't ever expect 2 to be up top green, but it's the bait and switch out where John will just run forward. You got a few other players here still trying to play the sport over the top, but it's Vapor who finds himself on 5 in a row, playing for a potential streak here. Realistically speaking, this is probably the first time that we've seen a break that went well for the Pirates. The problem is, it came with 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great team effort to build off of, but we saw the woes from the first hard point, right? You get snowballed into a 100-point deficit, and by the time you wake up here in the hard point, it's, you know, a day late and a dollar short. And while P1's being played very well by the Shockers, Rilo up top trying to make something happen. There was is able to find one with the nade. Route being made in the middle of the map. Exotic trying to chop any and everybody down. Is going to get chopped down himself.
Tell you what, Pirates are starting to shoot back at least a little bit. They genuinely have been giving themselves a good bit of back control here. It's just the trades are the most important thing. You can have a couple of hot gunfights that go your way, but if you're not able to stay on top of the main advantage, then it really is all for naught. Ryla will drop down, find Kaiser on rotation. Chance finds another. Each up top. Back behind the Moose mural. Somehow he stays alive. I'm really not quite sure how he's able to do that.
He was like, if I just stand still, maybe they won't see me. Of course, I know he's trying to make the jump up. Very unfortunate. Vapor to the middle of the map. Comes a gun in there, too. Finally, we're starting to see something come back to life here for the boys in blue. Guys are going to be gunned down. Hold the phones. Vapor. Play in the middle of the map to perfection. Line's being held here from Schlump. Top side, you got 3 pushing. Okay, tags them all. And gets the headshot to follow up on through. Slumping crew starting to wake up.
I mean, it was the rat back from Wichita State that I loved there. But the Pirates just hold strong. I thought Wichita State was going to really put themselves in a good position after finding those first 2 kills. But the Pirates were just able to make the best out of it. They recognized where the spawns were flipping out at. They got in behind a couple people, and then they were like, hey, let's go ahead and break this. They did give up the back 20 seconds, and this close to the 200-point mark, the Shockers are kind of just running away with it at this point. If you're the Pirates, it's time for go mode if it hasn't been already. Nice little bit of snow there. John Exotic wanted to cool himself down.
Yeah, he did. Something's got to cool him down. The series, he's been an absolute unit. Chance the same on the flip side, 28-19. Only a little bit of time to show for it, but I am all on board with John Exotic and his 367-20 dismounts or whatever the hell he's got up his sleeve.
Awkward gunfight from Peach as he slides forward. Good read on the spawns there as they come up through mid-cut. Slum will grab some much-needed time. And all things considered, 30 seconds is not bad time here. Albeit a deficit is still here. Now it's a push forward from Peach, though. Goes relatively unchecked. Nobody from top lane was able to go for the contestation. And it's another clean kill feed for Wichita State. Broken up in the back end of spawn. I don't think they know that Vapor is here. So Deucer... maybe the trigger discipline's not good. I have no idea how they just spawned behind him. That's actually criminal.
Illegal! Okay! Chance! Just run at him, big dog. Do what you gotta do. Backline's approached. It is gonna be ICC Pirates with the opening investment here in the early rotation. They get the saddle up. Kaiser spoiling it. Just spoiling it. Just, I mean, complete chaos and pandemonium, and he's just doing what he does. Hello.
Goodbye. See you soon.
Adios and vaya con Dios.
Whatever he said. I agree. Slump at P4. Deucer down the staircase. Backside, why not give another? Not going to be able to win it here, but as we say all the time, they're going to be damn close. Over to P5, they'll have to go. Exotic in middle map. Deucer, how are you not challenging him? Like, if you're going to go to the back, go to the back. You need the timer to stay alive. I just don't get it. Oh, man.
Oh, brother. Yeah, we've been going through a double dose of Scar here, not favorable to the ICC Pirates.
Oh, they get to spawn in, too.
Oh, brother. Whoa! Just ridiculous, man.
Now that made sense, at least for now.
Yeah,
But his
yeah.
Deucer's up on the top end. It's only 4 seconds that they're going to need. Jump shot across the middle. Left side, it's Deucer. Can you put the final cap on it? Well, Kaiser will do that just for you. 2 more points, and they'll go ahead and take it. Wichita State gets to the 250 mark first, and by quite a margin, only 121 measly points on the opposite end for the Pirates. They will be handed their first loss of the 2026 CCL season. And Wichita State will move up another rung, back to 2nd place in the Midwest. I believe it's the Great Plains top cut. Yeah, we were Metro last time. Sorry.
Vapor getting the play of the game there. We'll take a look at the breakdown here of where things went wrong. Well, I mean, we'll just say things that went right for Wichita State. No shocking about it. A very contested P1 to a hard setup on the P2 site. And, you know, Wichita State really never looked back in the rearview mirror. We saw little signs of life out of the Pirates. Nonetheless, they dropped their first series of this split, as well as the first 2 hard points of it as well, too. So they've been flawless through. And then they meet Wichita State Shockers, and wouldn't you know, they've got the keys to success here in the Scar hardpoint, as well as the Overload and the Den hardpoint.
Take a look at the stats real quick. Recap as we do every time. Got ourselves a little peach down there. 27 and 23. 3,500 damage leads the way overall when it comes to sling. Opposite side, once again, we looked at Chance. With 33 for himself, 21 non-traded. Actually outdid Peach when it came to the overall damage on the map. Just not a lot of hill time to go along with it, but was influential in breaking into those different hard points where ICC were able to accrue the most time out of them. When you look at the entirety of the roster on the opposite end, it doesn't look all that great for the ICC Pirates. But this is going to be one that they can learn a lot from. They played them relatively close. It's not one of those games where they just kind of got smoked the entire time and there was no rhyme or reason to a lot of the stuff that they were doing. I think this is going to give them a real opportunity to go back, kind of break things down in the lab. Watch the VOD, get better, improve as a team, and yeah, I don't think Independence and Community College is going to be done. It's not the last time that we're going to see their name throughout the rest of this season. They'll most likely be fighting towards the end. Maybe not for the conference championship. It's going to be tough now that you've lost to Wichita State and you get Oklahoma Christian later on the schedule. But at the very least right now, it's all about just making sure that you can maintain your face. Take every week at a time.
That's it. Take it a week at a time. Take it a match at a time. Take it a game at a time. As we take a look at the best 5 spread, didn't quite get to that game 5. First map did. You said it wasn't a bad performance out of the Pirates. Just wasn't a great one. It started to turn the Jets on just a little too late. 6-3 exposure, search and destroy victory. I know Wichita is going to go back and see, you know, I don't know if they're going to rewatch this spot. I hope they do, because a 6-3 loss is quite remarkable. But the 8-0 Scar overload, nothing to scoff at there, as well as another 250 to 121. The Shockers coming through, assert their dominance.
It's funny. Your best mode against Oklahoma Christian is simultaneously your worst mode against the Pirates roster.
Right.
But on paper, it might not be at the same strength, but regardless, credit where credit is due to the Wichita State Shockers. Of course, a 3-1 victory gives them a 7-1 record for the rest of this season. Same with the ICC Pirates. Before we go ahead and close things out here, verdict. It's been a pleasure. First time we've gotten to work together on broadcast before. It's been a fun time. Good energy between the two of us. I like the way we bounce back and forth.
I agree, man. I have to say, man, anybody, I can vibe with like that. I was just trying to match your energy at first, but then I was like, no, I need to let the beast wild. I need to let that peacock fly, okay? I needed to let him do his thing, and boy, did you. It was a blast, man. I had fun. You thought we've been casting together for years.
Absolutely. Any closing thoughts on the matches as a totality between Wichita and the Pirates, or any other matches we saw tonight?
Man, I got to go back and rewatch the VOD on that second series. If you're just now tuning in, you missed, a great, 3-game or 3-match spread. That second series was a banger until it wasn't banging at the end. Just go back and rewatch it. You'll thank me later.
No, it was a great time. Both of the matches that we had, for at least for us in the night, were great. And earlier in the day, St. Clair, just a smoke show against Northwood. Not something that a lot of people probably expected to be the results of that series. But, hey, that just leaves a lot more for storylines later on in the season. We'll be back, of course, again tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we are for our regularly scheduled programming here for the first week of the divisional restructure for CCL. But until that point in time, on behalf of myself, Verdict, everybody else, and the CCL production staff, and all the players that came out and enjoyed some matches tonight, and of course you fans at home, we hope you have a wonderful, safe rest of your night. We'll see you back here at 7:30 tomorrow for more CCL action.